What is up, YouTube? BHL Shenanigans here from BHLGaming.com. Sorry, I'm Soup now, not Shenanigans. I'm going to be showing you guys how to make banners with C4D in Photoshop. So what you're going to do first, open up C4D, and first we're going to go over and we're going to play with the render settings. You're going to want the width to be 300, and you're going to want the height to be 30. Those are the max sizes for a banner on BHL. Those are what you're going to want. You're going to go down and you're going to click the frames. You're going to set it to all frames so it doesn't just load one of them. You're going to click the Save As to a QuickTime Movie. That's a .mov file. You're going to click on anti-aliasing so you can change the background colors. And you're going to save your banner as whatever you want to call it. I go with Soup here, or an elongated version of that. So I close it out, and you can see the area that the banner needs to be, or the text, and any animations need to be inside of. I just flip it around here so you can see it stays there, and it's pretty easy to see. So now we're going to start the text. Go MoGraph, MoText. Edit the text to say, "Come play with." Then I'm going to set the depth to 50 instead of 20. We're going to go over to there. Align it to the middle, change the font. I'm going to do the Overseer oblique font because that's the Fallout font and I really, really like it. So now I'm moving it around so it fits within the parameters of the banner itself. And now it's in there. We're going to go over to the caps area. We're going to turn on fillet caps because I think that looks the best with these banners. And that's all you have to do for that. So you're going to copy this layer that you have here. You're going to copy it and paste it. You can do Control-V, Control-C, Control-V, or whatever. I did it that way to show. So you're going to put the caps to 10 on each. They're going to go over to here. You're going to set the depth to 15 to get a little nice outline. And I'm going to move this one that I just made back a little bit to the middle so I can see the text, and it'll just be another outline for the text. So now I'm going to move it back to where it was before, and I'm going to make myself some colors. So I'm going to do a blue for this one, for the kind of blue that's in the hardcore rank on BHL. Move it over. I like that blue. So there's that, and I'm going to put reflection on. I'm going to set it to 50%, and I'm going to drag that onto the main area, the main part of it, not the outlining. And here I accidentally tried to change the color of the reflection. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to change the actual color to black, and I'm going to turn the reflection on to 50%. So I'm going to put that into the outlining, and I'm going to do a little quick render here to see if it looks good. I didn't like it at first, so I inversed it. I put the blue on the outside, and I put the black on the inside. And here's a little quick render to see if that looks better, and it does. So now you're going to you're going to highlight both. You're going to right click and you're going to group them. And I'm going to name it what it is with the text, "Come play with." And sorry about the bass on the P's and whatnot. You're going to copy paste that group that you just made, and I'm going to rename this to Soup because that's what the next segment area of text is. Highlight both the things in there and then highlight the text and change it to Soup. You can't see it, but it'll look fine in a little bit. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my render for the skull icon for BHL right there, merge it in, and there it is. And for what I do with most of my banners, whatever was the outline for the text is the main color of the skull, and vice versa with the headset. So I take out the light box in there because I don't like that in there. I like to have a steady lighting through the entire thing. So now that's all lined up in the middle for all of them. I'm going to move it above there, just barely above the area where you won't be able to see anything anymore. And I actually move Soup down below because I want the Soup part to come in from the bottom. So now I'm just going to move this around, get it a little bit more centered. And now we're going to start animating. So what you're going to do, I do first is I set the frame number to 160. Because that's exactly how many it took me for this entire thing. You got to select the layer, you hit a keyframe, and you have to move the keyframe over before you start animating, or else it won't stick. That is one of the most frustrating things after you do an epic animation. you go back and you didn't move the keyframe over. So make sure you do that. So I move it into the area. I do a nice little flip on there for animation. I set it back to the moving tool, keyframe it, let it sit there for 20 more frames, keyframe it, and 20 frames out, and I move it to the left, out the banner, going over there, and keyframe again. So now I'm going to move the text, the soup part, keyframe, and I miss the moving the keyframe. I do that a lot, and it's really frustrating. Make sure you don't do that. Move it up into the area. And with this one, I do a little bit more fancy animation with the text. I do a spin and a forward flip, as you'll see right here. So I'm just animating this full 360 degrees so it stays the same angle it was before. That's pretty important if you ask me. So it's sitting there. I keyframe it. Let it sit there for 20 more frames, and exit it through the top. Keyframe it again, and that animation part is done. Now I select the BHL skull, and I move this a lot close. I move this closer to the top of the banner, so you can see more of it when it's coming in. I move it into the area that I want it to, and as I said, make sure you move the keyframe before. So keyframe it there, let it stay there for 10 frames this time, because this is just a little effect. It's not anything that's really huge part of the thing for understanding it. Let it sit there for 10 frames and move it out with 15 frames. That is a total of 160 frames. That's exactly how many I set it to. Keyframe it, and that's all the animating. So now I deselect all the things. I make sure that the animation looks good. And you can see people popping up on my Skype, getting online and stuff. So it's all moving around, and I like the way it looks. So I check my render settings again, make sure everything is all lined up, and it is. And then I do the full render of it. So I pause the video here in a second, just so it renders. It actually doesn't take that long, but oh well. So it's done rendering now. I'm going to exit out of Cinema 4D. I'm going to save the banner so I can change colors and whatnot whenever I want to. Open up Photoshop. This is the part that you're actually making it a GIF, and you're setting the background for it. So we're waiting for this to open up. You need the animation window open. So if you don't have that, go up to Window and click Animation. That'll open it up. You go File, Open. You're going to go to whatever you saved your, wherever you saved your banner at. It's going to be a .mov file right there, soup.mov. Open, and you're waiting for that. We take a new layer to make a background. I always do black. That's just how I do it. And I'm going to show you guys what white looks like. I don't think it looks as good. See there? Stick with black. Go File. Save for web and devices. Then you're going to go Loop, Pattern, Loop Forever. That's important. And it's a 128 GIF dithered. Save it, exit it, and that's all you have to do. Now you just upload it to Imgur or whatever you want, and that's how you make banners for BHL. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm out.